Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Liam Podcast, a show where I look to provide value to you by riffing on topics and answering your questions at the end of each episode. Today, joining me is my good buddy, Sean Miskiman.
Thank you for having me, Liam. I'm stoked to do this with you and talk about snowboarding.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. I appreciate you coming, all the way from upstairs. Long travel.
It was a long walk from my bed.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah, comfy in the living room. From my perspective, you've been on a nice uphill trajectory.
Thank you.
It's been really good to see. A bit of a switch of gears. I mean, I think since your previous years of boarding into what was last year, where you went really full backcountry for the first time ever and looked out to film your first ever video part for the King Snow movie. And I was hoping today you could share with me and the listeners what it was like going after a video part, because it's quite the ordeal that I don't think a lot of people understand how much work it takes.
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you so much for all your kind words, man. I really appreciate it. In my snowboarding, I have so many people to thank, from everyone at King Snow to all my friends like you, to all the boys filming. And it's been a journey switching from contest to backcountry. But honestly, it's what I truly love to do. So it made things a lot easier. And filming the video part this year really opened me up to how much work those boys put in to film each video part, and for all the lessons I learned, I'm eternally grateful.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I'm so stoked.
So starting off, come November, you'd had one season in the backcountry prior, correct?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
before November, I had one season sledding.
Yeah, kind of.
Not filming, but just getting out there and understanding how to operate out there, which was, I think, very, very valuable for my snowboarding.
Yeah. When did you film your first clip?
I filmed one, maybe mediocre one that year.
Yeah.
It's a front three, but it wasn't anything special, pretty small. And then my first actual clip was...
For the movie?
For the movie was February 15th, because I didn't really get the call up into the movie. There was a little bit of an issue with figuring out all the logistics and stuff and the crew. Yeah. So it was February 15th I started filming. So the whole season was honestly so stressful. I was every time I went up, I was I just need to get a shot at this point. And I remember I had a list on my phone of tricks, and I was just okay, which one's today? Okay, I got this one done. Oh my God, can I get the other one done today? But for that reason, I think it was sick, because it really made me have to learn quickly.
Yeah.
To do it. So
it felt like a rush, but you didn't have time necessarily to think about it. You're just in it. So you're okay, well, I'll just make it all happen, kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's what made to the excitement. All of a sudden I was from going out with all the boys all the time and hanging with them to all of a sudden I was filming with cameras and stuff. And I think that made everything a lot more natural.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'd also like to touch on how much time you spend, you think, per shot, because I always think about that. You probably spent 50 days in the backcountry or something like that throughout the year? Or?
Yeah. Honestly, I was trying to figure out the number the other day, but it's got to be at least 50, dude. I put 4,000 kilometers on my sled and burnt a lot of gas, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of hours that go into each shot, whether it's the night before, the weather forecast checking, to the planning, to getting there, to jump building. Each shot, I don't know how many.
Geez, if it's 50 days and you probably put was it 25 clips in the video part, or is it a bit more than that?
I think it was less than that. I think I did around 20.
Yeah, so that's almost 3 days per shot of being out there, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, there's days we'd go out there and we would sit. We built one day we built the jump, all the boys, and the cloud rolled in. It was actually me, Mikey, and we sat there for 6 hours, just
waiting it out.
Legit playing games with each other and talking. But those are honestly so special moments too, dude. I appreciate those moments just as much as I appreciate the snowboarding moments, because I was with such an amazing crew of snowboarders to ride with.
Yeah.
So I learned so much from just even the hangs, from talking to them, them explaining the whole backcountry film scene. So I valued those days honestly just as much as I valued the snowboarding days.
The days you got shots, kind of thing. Who was your main crew? You had Mikey on it, and then...
Yeah, it was Mikey. It was honestly me and Mikey kind of did a little stretch there where we kind of got after it quite a bit together. And then it was me, Mikey, Craig.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so thankful for Craig. Craig really took me and Mikey on and helped us so much.
Yeah.
And that dude is the man. He's good for snowboarding, and I'm thankful for him. And then also I got to go with the Man Boys a bit.
Yeah.
And going out with those boys was so sick. They're so awesome. And they know what's up out there, and like
Oh yeah.
seeing them how they operate and get their shots and like the way they pick lines was like, man, it was so cool. And like every day I would go out with them, I was like just trying to be a sponge, soak in all the information I could, because
Yeah, it's cool mentorship, hey?
those boys know what's up. Dude.
Yeah.
It's like, I've looked up to those boys for so long, and every time I was going out there, I was like trying to pinch myself because I was so thankful
It's
for
crazy.
the opportunity.
It's crazy how long they've been doing it. Like, not to date any of them, but they've put out so many video parts throughout the years and like have been in the backcountry so long. It's just crazy how much knowledge they must have accumulated.
Dude, it is so cool. I want to be like Belzo one day, dude.
Yeah.
20 video parts deep, like still killing it so hard. Like, dude, that is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I really hope one day I'm looking back and I could be like Belz.
Dude, racking 20? That's pretty sick.
Dude, some serious clips and hours in the backcountry.
Yeah, the hours alone in the backcountry is crazy. It was cool, Craig, because he brought out, was Ben your filmer for most of that
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
So Craig kind of like sorted that all out, and he was like so good to me and Mikey, man. Like,
Yeah.
he's the man. I only have good things to say about him. I'm so thankful for all his like support throughout the past year, because I got to hang out with Craig quite a bit.
Yeah.
We did the Toyota project and that, and like his mentorship with me has been really sick. I'm so stoked.
That's sweet. It was cool. Like, I mean, when I got to go to the premiere, that was pretty much like a week ago.
Yeah.
It was crazy seeing how local of a posse it is to Whistler and how much it's like now. Like, I mean, we're fortunate to be around those guys, but it felt like watching all the homies. I was so happy watching your part, Mikey's part, and all the rest of the parts too, because it felt like, just feels like seeing your homies do well. So that was cool for me. But was it, I don't know, just like unique for you being out there with Mike and like people you've been around for?
Yeah, it was so special. I mean, like, I lived with Mike. I've kind of been around Mike for a long time with living with him and such, and like being out there and get to share those experiences with him was like so special. And then being out there and getting to share that experience and learn from the people I've looked up to tremendously in my snowboarding, and like I've really taken my inspiration from to like want to go into the backcountry. Like, those boys are the reasons why I made the switch, and I was like, I'm over contests.
Yeah.
And so it was just, dude, it's so special, a dream come true.
So it's been like a year now since you didn't really know you were going to film a video part this time last fall, but still it's been a year since like, you took on that project. Is there things that like have shifted in your mind, or things you've learned like prior video part Sean to post video part Sean, or at least post first video part Sean, like things that were different about it or things that you learned?
Man, there's so much of that. Like, it's like, I think Jesse asked me this question in the interview, and it's like, dude, I could write you an essay on everything, because every day I went out, dude, I learned something new, whether it was like a sled trick or a jump building trick or like where to spot, because like, dude, hitting step downs is so different. It was like a full new world. So there's so much. I think there's lots of stuff I've learned, whether it's like, this is just an easiest way to do it before I go too into it, because I'll go down a rabbit hole. I like, this year I have a way different motivation, because I don't know, after filming the video part, I was like, man, this is what I want to do. I love this. And like, now I understand a little bit more about how to create a video part. So in my head, I got myself a whiteboard, and I've been creating almost like a trick list, and now I understand some spots and like what will work where. And I've been trying to create a list of like how I want my video part to look. Yeah. Just so when winter comes and things get so hectic and we're tired, it's something I could look at every single morning and be like, boom.
Clear goals. Kind of Yeah. That spotting on the step down thing is always something I've been curious about, because I always watch videos of that. I'm like, man, I've never hit anything where my landing is like pretty much underneath me the whole time, versus like, out and over. Like any park jump is kind of out in front of you a little bit, but step down, it seems like as soon as you're off the takeoff, everything is underneath you. It's a total different thing. But Mark Solis, man, I remember this so clearly, because I was struggling when I first started snowboarding with those boys. I was with the Man Boys, and we started hitting a lot of step downs. Yeah. And dude, every single time I would over rotate by like 20 degrees and just get so smoked. Like, one of the first like spots I hit was like a natty step down with bow. Yeah. And I think I did a back 7.5, like a back like 780. Like the worst you want to do.
Like 4 times, dude, and just like ragdolled and was just like, oh. Over. But one of the things was that Solis told me was just like, looking down, and like when you do a step down, like if you want to do a back 7, like set for a back 5, because you're gonna have more air than you think, and you'll be able to get
the last little bit around.
That last little bit around, but like opening up and stopping is hard on a step down.
Right.
So it's like setting up. I remember being on the park chair and him telling me this. If I want to do a back 7, you know, just maybe set for a back 5 and like hold on when you feel like you want to land, because you're gonna have a couple extra feet.
Yeah.
For your touchdown, and like looking down is like, dude, it's such a cool feeling.
Is it
kind of like
just
a
for the-
rush?
Yeah.
It's so hard to explain though, because every time I was hitting everything, dude, I was so scared. I was gripped. So I was like full flow state. Like I'd get to the bottom and I'd be like, oh my God, I survived.
Yeah, come alive. The scale of everything in the Whistler backcountry is big, hey? And I bet you that's one thing that, you know, doesn't necessarily translate as well as when you're actually standing there and like looking at, like, I don't know, the form step down or something. I mean, like, oh God, I've never even been there, but I can imagine of that translation of things that I've seen and then gone to hit and it just being twice as big as I thought it was. And then that, which looks big enough that I'd be terrified. And then knowing that it probably feels bigger when you're at the top of it.
Sometimes, dude, I just had to go hollow head this year. I was so scared to go out of my element, which helps. Like, dude, the day I hit form, me and Mikey went to go hit a different jump, and we were waiting. It was right by the form step down.
Yeah.
And we were waiting for light, and I was hurt for 2 weeks midwinter when Mikey and Craig went to the form step down.
Yeah.
And I was so bummed I didn't get to hit it with them.
Yeah.
And their jump was still there, and I went up and hit it. And it was just like, I straight up had to shut off my brain. I was like, okay, I just got to do this, and just went up there and just did it and got it over with.
Yeah.
Because, dude, that stuff's scary. That thing's big. Like, Mikey and Craig's clips on it are dope.
I think we have to give props to Mike for how sick of a video part he put out.
Yeah, Mike got it. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, that was so sick. Not his ender, but I have to shut that out because I think that was one of his sickest clips, is that back 9 that he did.
Yeah, I definitely think that was one. I know that's the one he was the most stoked on. Like, when he did that, I remember the froth. Because we, like, that day was kind of like a casual day. We didn't really know what to do, and he had talked about doing that trick all winter, and when he laced it up, it was pretty insane. He was so stoked.
Do you feel when they get it, it's almost like a celebration for you as for them?
Oh yeah, dude, I get equally as hyped. Like, when Mikey did that, like, I was freaking out just as much as him. Well, I felt like I was so stoked. And like, when Mikey got a shot, I was going, and I didn't get a shot, I was still going home just as stoked.
Because like the crew got a shot kind of thing.
Yeah, like we're all working for the same project. And like, dude, that's one thing I love about backcountry snowboarding is like, I'm doing it for myself to create my own thing and to create this project as a whole. And like, man, Mikey getting a better shot is so sick for the project. And it's like, dude, like, he's one of my best friends. Like, when I see him land, it's just like so sick. I get equally as stoked. I'm a snowboard nerd, dude. I love this. I'm in it for life. Like,
that's so sick though, filming together, because then like you get to share those moments with each other, which, like you said, like as far as your life, those are the things that mean the most. Is like sharing those moments with your friends. So it's cool you get to have so many more because you get to do it as a crew, which is sick. What was it like taking your park tricks to the backcountry? Like, I know you did a back 10, which I have to say huge respect, because a 1080 in the backcountry doesn't happen that often. Like, you watch kind of every year, if you get a 1080 in there, you're doing pretty well. Was it different though? Like, again, it was more of a step down than I think you're probably used to doing it on and spotting and stuff.
Yeah, it was different. It's just like, man, it's such different takeoffs, like with the soft snow and the edging. Yeah, it was a little weird. That day was actually pretty funny because if I remember correctly, we went to a jump called El Chapo. That's savagely big.
I bet you guys tried to,
me and Mike were both standing on top of it, and dude, I had the worst feeling about hitting it. Yeah. And I actually stepped off because I don't know, I just had this weird gut feeling. I blew a belt on the way to the spot and just not having a day. I was forgetting stuff. Yeah. So I didn't hit it, and I kind of got in my own head because I was like, after Mikey got a sick clip, I was like, dude, you should just hit it. Like, I knew I could have did it. But like, that time it wasn't right. And then I was just like, me and Mikey were just scanning for things to hit right next to it to like hammer out another shot. And we built that step down, and it was like, well, this is perfect. Almost park style jump, jump on the roll. And I tried 2 other back 10s before that one. Yeah. Both were on like kind of interesting jumps. Right. That were just like hard. I think both of them I had knuckled and fell, and that one was just, I don't know.
Lined up.
Just lined up and works out. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. It takes a lot of confidence though to step away from something. I think that's probably another thing too. Like, as much as like you overcame a lot of fear, I'm sure that there's times where you just had to walk away to know like the kind of longevity of trying to achieve what you're going to achieve. And
yeah, it's such a tough balance, man. Like,
because you could say that like you walked away from that, and then because you did, you guys went and looked for something else to hit, and you got that like pretty much that was like your ender. Well, not your ender, but like one of the better shots in the part. Versus if you like hit El Chapo and I don't know, maybe got like a trick that wasn't as good. Like I don't know, it's just hard to trust, but I guess you just have to believe in it all.
Totally. I like to not speculate too.
It's
like for me, it's like whatever happens. But yeah. Like,
you always say everything happens for a reason though.
Oh, I'm a true believer of everything happens for a reason. I wouldn't be backcountry snowboarding and sledding and living my best life if it wasn't. I went through like the worst year of my life.
Right.
Being so broken with my leg. When I broke my leg, I was in like the darkest place I think I could ever been. I was so unhappy with my contest snowboarding at the time. I just wasn't happy doing it, and I got hurt, and I was like, I felt like I gave so much to snowboarding, and I wasn't loving it at that time. And from being in that hard place, it reminded me how much I love shredding POW and riding POW with my homies, and that was like what made me want to make the switch. So like because of that, everything happens for a reason.
Right.
True believer of it, man. I'm a true believer of it.
What's it like learning to sled?
So fun.
Yeah.
I put some work into it. I needed some work.
Well, because after that leg break season, you got back a little bit in the spring, and then you bought a sled that fall, and then it was like the entire year. You really committed to learning how to sled that year. Like you really spent a lot of time out there just sledding. Yeah,
that was one thing I really wanted to do. I'm so grateful to be surrounded by so many rad people. And like that was the one thing they always said to me was, hey, just learn how to sled. So like that season I like barely brought out my snowboard. I barely did laps. I think I sledded every day and like barely snowboarded. Like I'd be stoked if I strapped in.
Yeah.
But I think that really helped my snowboarding because then I was able to, I'm less stressed now. Like I'm not the best sledder by any means.
You can get there.
But like it just makes things a little bit easier, and I hope I could get better at sledding moving forward because it's hard.
Yeah.
Real hard.
Super hard, super fun.
So fun. That's not another thing I like about filming the backcountry. It's like, dude, I have just as much fun going there as I do riding. I have just as much fun doubling up with the boys, screaming full pin, being like, come on, as I do like strapping in, scared, hitting a jump, and having that like feeling of excitement. So.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't be. There's a lot of dudes that I know that started backcountry snowboarding, then just became sled heads because they just had so much fun. Usually when they're old mates, though, they get really bored. But
I don't think I'll ever stop snowboarding, but I definitely will keep sledding.
Yeah, Shawnee Turbo.
One day.
Yeah.
One day, I hope I can have a.
We might not have turbos anymore, though.
Think we'll go electric.
I don't know.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be electric turbos. This is weird electric car knowledge, but they call the Porsche Taycan their electric vehicle. Their like dope model, like like a Skidoo Expert would be or whatever. They call it a turbo, even though it doesn't have a turbo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's silly though.
Learn something new.
Leading up to your cover, which is pretty huge, and I'd love to hear about the day because that's a pretty big jump. And same thing, and that was first tracks, no?
Yeah.
For that cover. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Getting the cover was a dream come true. I'm so grateful for Jesse and Crispin and Ryan at King Snow and then the whole crew for taking me under the wing and helping me because like they're so rad. That day was so special. We had built that jump. After that day, Mikey got the back nine.
Oh, it was
on that jump.
Yeah,
we like went and built this jump in Brandywine to connection to another zone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we built this jump all day, and I was so lucky to be up there with the best dudes like Rasmus and Mikey know what's up, and they just kind of guided me in and told me where to go from, and it's like one of those things where I was like, oh, I lost the Rochambeau. Dude, the whole time I was building this, I manifested losing the Rochambeau.
Really?
I didn't want to lose the Rochambeau, but I was like
so focused on it.
I was like, you're going to lose the Rochambeau. Like, I just knew it.
You felt it.
I knew it. Shit. And the whole time I was like, no, don't think that. Because I didn't want to go first. Lots of times I want to go first. But that time I was like looking over the edge. I was like, man, there's a lot of rocks. It was like, we had to like build, because it was basically on a ridge where it was like wind scoured. So we had to build the run up.
Like above,
Yeah, and then it was like we built a burn because you like had to take a corner, and then I didn't want to spin backside, so I had to go like front side off the toes almost. Like,
oh, really? Like, yeah.
And
like pop into it kind of thing, yeah.
And then, Rusty showed up, like, to film. Like, Rusty filmed the, like, lower angle of that clip. I know. And it was so perfect because we were just standing up there, and we told Rusty where we were, and he, like, pulled up. Yeah. That was the first time I've actually seen Rusty in the backcountry, too. I was so happy. Oh, my God, it's Rusty.
Yeah.
Because Rusty is the man.
He has some of my favorite video parts.
Dude, he shreds.
Yeah.
then that was it. You know, I did a front three and held on for dear life, and somehow got a cover, and I'm so thankful and so grateful, and it's just been a dream come true.
It's so sick, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, dude, sometimes I look at it and like, not gonna lie, after it dropped, I woke up the next day with tears. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Like tears of joy, just being like, oh my God. Cause like, it's just the cherry on top of being able to film with like so many dudes I looked up to, and like all the knowledge they passed on to me was made the season feel so much more special.
Yeah.
And to get that was just the cherry.
Yeah.
So it was kind of emotional for me because I was so stoked. It was like I said, a childhood dream.
Yeah, that's so special.
I'm really excited to put it in my wall in my room.
Yeah, we got to frame one.
I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, go up there with Mickey Alvin.
Yeah. I don't know if it can hang with Mickey. That photo's pretty dope.
That's so sick. That is so sick. I trip on it too. Like just seeing it, you're just like, damn. You know, it's one of those things like you're kind of immortalized, you know, on the page. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm just so thankful. I have so many people to thank this winter. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't get to do what I do without a lot of people and have the opportunities to. And like, for that, I'm so thankful because I've had so many rad people supporting me, like King Snow, Jesse, Crispin, Ryan, and all the boys. So it doesn't seem real. Like, you're even talking about it, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Hopefully many more.
Yeah.
It's the goal.
Had you done many first tricks like throughout the winter prior to that?
I had done a few. I hit perfect jump first try.
Oh, right.
That was another one where the whole time we were building it, I was like, don't lose the Rochambeau. Don't lose the Rochambeau.
Yeah.
Or don't win the Rochambeau.
Yeah.
And then I lost, and I was like, boys, do I have to go first? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt told me where to go, and I like, dude, it was like a roller coaster. I was like, go straight, go straight, go straight. Just
That's a fast jump, hey?
Yeah, it's a sick jump. I really wish me and Mikey went back there and both tried to get some tricks on it.
Right.
A little upgrade, and I wish we both would have got it because it would have been sick. So but that's another day for another battle that still eats me up. So
yeah, you can't get everything, eh?
No, but that's the sick thing. It's like next year I'll still be there, like,
and keep you hungry, keep you wanting to come back. How fast do you think you go to that? Like the full jacket flapper?
Oh yeah, it's a jacket flapper. Like,
if we're gonna grade it, like
definitely like the fastest I've hit a jump in a long time. Like it's like shack ride speed, but like it's like you're just like going compression, so it's like
yeah, it's probably shack ride speed, but the takeoff's half the size kind of thing.
Oh yeah, like even quarter, like it's like a board length.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that jump's so sick. Yeah, I think that was the only other first tracks, but I didn't use the first tracks clip. I went and kept hitting it.
Yeah,
hit it like 4 or 5 times, just because I was having so much fun. It was a fun jump to hit.
Yeah,
I was just enjoying it, and that was actually like the first booter I hit all winter. Like my first like actual jump. Like I had hit step downs before that, but that was my first like actual like cheese wedge. Because
it's kind of a rarity. Like it seems like around here especially, it's more step downs and like features.
Yeah, it's like a rarity to get like a bump to bump jump like that. But I'm down with the bump to bumps. I think they're cool. Yeah, I would really, really like to hit more of them, as well as step downs. And also, I've been really stoked on like trying to find new stuff. Like there's a couple jumps me and Mikey hit that had never been hit before, and Craig. Yeah, and man, I thought that was really sick. So I want to keep like exploring and
unlocking new zones, kind of thing. Yeah,
that's the dream, dude. Have a zone named after you.
What would you name it?
I don't know. That's just something I've always dreamed about. We've always talked. I've been like, man, one day. Because there's zones that are like, I don't want to name them. Don't want to talk about them.
Yeah. They're about to be Sean's zone. Sean's secret zones.
No, they're not. But it's like, I don't want to
start dropping names. So if you want to go here.
Even when we were talking about
take a laugh.
Dude, I was like, oh my God, do I like say? I was like, Brandon, you want secrets? I was like, fuck, don't say that.
Yeah.
It's like surfing, but it's not. Everyone's super helpful and supportive.
Yeah. No, they want to help you with the zones. Is there anything else you want to share?
No, just, man, I've said this a million times and I'll say it a million times again. I'm so thankful for King Snowmag, Jesse, Crispin, Brian, all the boys, Leyland, Ben. Those dudes had my back so much in my snowboarding. I'm so grateful for them. And then all the man boys, Rasbin, Bo, Matt, Jody, Mikey, Craig, for all the knowledge they passed on to me. That is invaluable and means the world to me. And I'm so freaking thankful for them because these boys are the dopest, man. I'm so stoked, and they're making me live my dream. So, thank you.
Sweet. Well, I think that wraps up. We don't have any questions for you today,
Okay.
but if you want to ask a question, just leave it in the comments below, either in the YouTube comment section or on Spotify. There's a little Q&A, and I think that's it.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Let's shred some pow.